Hello everyone, I'm Pravalika.
Hi, I'm Priyanka and welcome to Girlfriends Unplugged.
Yes, we are back with another episode today, and it's about millennial dads. And also,
Yes.
usually the roles of fathers in the current generation parenting, how it has evolved from our previous generations to right now. So, it's going to be an interesting discussion. Let's see how it goes with our point of views.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start from?
So I think this is very interesting for me. I was not at all thinking about it.
Hmm.
And we have done, an episode on pet peeves and we have talked a lot and
Oh
complained
yeah,
a lot about our husbands. So this
yeah,
will be a very, just a gentle tribute to our
yeah,
husbands and all
definitely.
the husbands in general, maybe.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So
yeah,
if
right.
we,
In that episode, yeah, I know.
Hmm.
My husband was like, "Why didn't you say any positive things about me?" Yeah, he'll be happy with this.
Yeah, I think so. Even I was thinking about this that as much as I am complaining about him, this is one aspect where I'm truly grateful that, that he really spends time with the kids. So that's one thing that I'm really very happy about.
Okay. Yeah, before going into those details,
Hmm.
so I want to just draw a comparison of how it was earlier, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have much experience with my father when I was a kid because right, he passed away when
Yeah.
I was really young. But
Hmm.
in generally also,
Hmm.
uh, I would have remembered certain memories if if at all actually he had spent a lot of time with me, right? But I
Yeah.
have very like countable memories with him till like 6 7 years of age, which is very less.
Very
That's
less.
because in general in those days the traditional role of fathers would be like they have to go out,
Hmm.
earn money. It's like breadwinners of the family, right? The whole
Yes.
expectation or the norm, the societal norm,
Hmm.
was that males are the sole providers for the family, and women are the expected nurturers for the kids
Yes.
and for the
Right.
family, like to take care of the house, to run the chores, take care of the kids, everything, right?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think a lot of dads in those generations may not have spent more time with their kids.
Hmm.
Um, like for example, sitting down with them, reading books, or doing some activities, or playing, or coloring, or
Playing.
or
Yes.
anything, right? It There
Yeah.
would have been rare instances
Hmm.
um, that they would have done.
Hmm.
That's the reason why actually I think the kids are with the mothers the whole day, and as soon as the father steps in they run and
Hmm.
run to the father because they treat the father like a luxury,
Hmm.
like a novelty, like, oh no,
Yes.
okay, he has come, it's a rare moment, let's grab this before he's gone.
Hmm.
um, I think that used to happen a lot. How about
Hmm.
you? How was your dad in those days when you were
So,
young?
my dad, he had a normal, that 9 to 5 job only.
Hmm.
But along with that, he had to take up side hustles also because
Hmm.
it was not enough for the family. As you said rightly, that, they used to be the sole bread earners.
Yeah.
And then my dad, he also didn't have his parents or his side of the family or some hereditary wealth or something that
Hmm.
could provide for us. So that was one thing that obviously he had this shortage of time.
Hmm.
But I remember, I think most of the stories that I have heard from the former years, like when I was really small, because I can't remember
Hmm.
you know the time that I might have spent, at least the initial 2 3 years. I don't remember. I just remember in pieces that I used to spend a lot with my mom only, and
Hmm.
she was a stay at home mom, so she would be working and I would be sitting there playing around. my dad, he would be, he would start around 7 o'clock. So he'll just start from home. He will do some work here and there. He'll come back. He'll, freshen up and then again go to office, come back from office.
Mm.
But I remember this one thing that you can tell me if you agree with me on this or not, that
Mm.
the kids during those days were, we're not given any special treatment as in the way we give that, yeah, they are kids, we should, spend time. That
Yeah.
conscious decision was not there, that, you
Mm.
should be spending time with them. It's like
Mm.
they're kids, they will play on their own, they will cry, okay, that's their job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but when I grew up, I think when I started going to school, I remember at least my dad, at least 1 or 2 years, he used to, teach me. Like in the evenings when he would come back from
Mm.
office,
Okay.
he would have some time to spend with me for, finishing up my homework. So that part is there. Uh,
Mm.
my mom, yeah, definitely, she would be the one who would be spending most of the time. And
Mm.
I have an elder sister. So, and she's like 5 years older than me. So,
Mm.
when I was really small, I think my mom at least had my sister also to, lend a helping hand.
Okay. Mm.
Then, the other thing that was very common was, this joint families, as in you would have
Mm. Live with your
grandparents also.
relatives together.
Yeah. So in my case, it was not there.
Mm.
My father's side, there was no one. From my mother's side, my nani, they used to come, but that was also like very rarely. But I
Mm.
remember in other families also, they had the grandparents or,
Mm.
uncles, like
Mm.
who are not yet married. So they would be there. They would at least, you know, the part that they would do is like, they would ask the, moms to, get the kids ready, and they will just take them out for a stroll or something, just for say half
Yeah.
an hour or
All right.
something.
Yeah.
And I think moms, they were grateful for that at least for half an hour also we are getting
Mm.
some time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
for me
Oh, yeah.
also.
Yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, they used to have lot of help,
Hmm.
especially from their parents or the in-laws.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that
or neighbors also
or
sometimes, I
neighbors
remember.
also, and
Yeah.
it's like they used to take a lot of help. And I have this classic image of just a dad sitting on a
Hmm.
chair, holding a newspaper and reading, and the
Hmm.
kids are
Hmm.
playing around.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's how it used to be, right?
yes, exactly.
As
Yeah.
far as I noticed or I saw with my
Hmm.
friends' families also, they are highly reliant on their parents to take care of the kids or the
Hmm.
wives.
Hmm.
That they think that it's normal and they're
It's
not
normal.
supposed to do more than that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe they didn't see anybody setting a good example, uh, or in general also they don't talk much about how they are with their kids or how they are with their families because they don't open up, I guess.
Hmm.
And so they don't know that maybe the ways of spending good time with their kids and family.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's one reason I think why enough time was not uh, given by them to their
Hmm.
families also, apart from
Hmm.
going
Hmm.
out, earning and all.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh,
Mm.
at the same time, I never had this, feeling of absent dad or something, that,
Mm.
my father is not around. I knew he is around. I knew he is working. And I think that acceptance was already there, that, he has lot to take care of.
Mm. Yeah,
And,
that's the
right?
mindset, right? That's how
Yeah.
the children were also told that okay,
Hmm.
dad is going out for this important work.
Hmm.
We
Right.
have to be, behave and
Yeah.
play together at home when dad
Yeah.
is out,
Huh.
because we were fed into our minds that
Huh.
he is like at the top, of course
Yes.
he
Of
was,
course. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, our mindset was that okay, we should not expect much from the dad. We
Hmm.
should always
Hmm.
play with the mom, be with
Yeah.
her, play with
Yeah.
the siblings, neighbors, whoever it is, and
Hmm.
whatever time we get with the dad is very precious. That's all we
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the times have changed because now if we compare,
Hmm.
um there is a tremendous change in terms of how the dads think, how the dads spend time with their kids, how they plan
Yeah.
their daily routine based on the kids' schedule. Um,
Yes.
because uh, I don't. In general, I think I'm not
Hmm.
exaggerating by the fact
Hmm.
that my husband is spending and all,
Hmm.
spending time and all. In
Hmm.
general, also I noticed that there's this drastic change in the mindset of the dads, that
Hmm.
the kid's childhood is very precious and we have to give enough time, our time.
Yes.
That's the most
Hmm.
valuable gift that we can give to our kids.
Hmm.
And they are consciously making efforts to give a valuable um lessons for their kids by spending
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
And it's like we are grateful, but I don't know if it's a. So you see, right? The
Hmm.
mothers are with the kids all the time. They raise. They
Yes.
also work now, because now
Hmm.
women are also working and they're going out.
Hmm.
They're bringing some money into the home,
Hmm.
and they're not appreciated enough.
Hmm.
But now, the topic itself, we have picked a topic and we are talking about the dads,
Hmm.
uh, that they are doing it
Hmm.
because the situation was entirely different back then,
Yes.
and it is
Right.
worth applauding them, because they have taken this into their hands and they're consciously putting efforts to make the kids' childhood better,
Yeah.
right?
Although
Mm,
they didn't have, they while they were growing up, they didn't have any examples to,
exactly.
refer to, but still they stepped up. I think that's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I know, as women, we have started seeking for help. I
Mm,
mean, like
mm,
every woman, I think they ask their husbands also, that can you please do
yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Like it started with that, and then I remember a friend of mine. She was visiting with her 1 year old kid,
Mm,
and um her the nappy had to be changed. The diaper had to be changed, and I remember my friend, she was not very confident, in the sense that she was like, what if I hurt her? She was very
okay.
protective about that, and she felt her husband, if her husband is changing the diaper, then she felt safer. So
Mm,
I think, so that was like really really very interesting for me, and really I felt so happy that how the roles have changed,
yeah. Yeah.
right? Like changing a diaper, or although that it's for us it could be a very simple thing, but for a
Mm,
guy, it's not just about if they're peeing, even if they're pooping,
yeah.
wiping their butts, and then putting a fresh diaper and all these things. This has
Yeah.
become so normal.
Yeah.
But I remember my mom telling me this story about my dad, that
Mm,
once I was very small, and while she was having lunch, she asked my dad to hold me,
mm,
and I think I pooped. Okay. And I started crying. And the moment I started crying, my father, what he did, he held me even more tightly. And the more tightly he held me, I started crying even more. And then my mom, she had to just,
mm,
like, she got interrupted. She had to just
mm,
stop her lunch and then come and
mm,
pick me up. And that's something that I really feel, I
yeah.
can really see the difference, like how they
Mm,
have evolved. And
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
it's
that's actually a very good example, because
hmm,
when my father-in-law was here,
hmm,
uh, he was not able to change a diaper
huh,
to my son, who was like 1 year old then.
hmm,
And I don't blame him, because they didn't
yeah,
have that kind of exposure or experience back then, and
hmm,
it was all new for them.
hmm,
But now, like, yeah, we see a shift in the roles, right? Now
hmm.
they, and also the fact that we are more open about asking for help from them. Like,
Yes,
you do this,
yes,
please.
yeah,
You take care of this.
hmm,
Although it's we have to tell multiple times, that's
hmm,
another story. But yeah, they are willing to listen and willing to help.
yeah,
Uh, that's a big achievement in itself.
yeah,
And
right,
also, this change in their mindset, or this active parenting from their end,
hmm,
I think is also coming from a lot of social media influence.
Yes,
where
correct.
um, where dads are more out in the open. They are
Hmm.
showing what they're doing, how actively they're getting involved, how they can help their spouses in taking care of the
Hmm.
kids and
Hmm.
giving
Hmm.
breaks to them.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think a lot of credit I give to the social media,
Hmm. Yeah.
apart from the wives pushing their husbands. What do you think?
Yeah. Right. And I think they see their friends also, doing it, and they feel that it's
Mm.
quite normal, and they should also,
Mm.
step up
Right.
and do
Yeah.
those things. Yeah. Not just
Mm.
with parenting, but in general, helping with the household chores also.
Mm.
I know about Sundar because I remember I called him, and I understand that maybe you remind him multiple times that do this, do that, but at least he's doing. I know people.
No, no. I just told
Yeah,
multiple times, but yeah, he
yeah,
does his part. I don't need
yeah,
to
he
remind
does his part.
multiple
Yeah,
times. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's what, and I know people who, even if reminded, they might not, they might not be doing it. So
No, but
I
in
remember.
general, also these
Hmm,
days,
hmm,
guys are more involved in doing the
hmm,
house chores because
hmm,
even though because they know that we are equally doing the finances also, we are also working
hmm,
outside, we are also bringing some money.
hmm,
Even if that's not the case, even when I was on maternity leave, he was
hmm,
extremely helpful in everything in the home because
hmm.
the way they respect the spouses, especially after the kids, because they've
Hmm.
seen the wife going through all the
Right.
postpartum trouble, raising
Hmm,
the kid and all, handling the kid and all. They have
hmm,
He has told me multiple times that they have this
hmm,
new respect for mothers
hmm.
because they wouldn't have seen their mothers going through all this, but they've seen
Yeah.
the wives going through all this, and they have this
Hmm,
genuine appreciation
hmm,
in them that is making them do, I think, all of these things
hmm,
because
hmm.
they know that parenting is not easy and mother
Yeah.
is not just the only parent.
Yeah. And one interesting point, just I got reminded while you were telling this, is I think in our mom's generation, it was pretty normal to, for the lady to be, delivering a baby, be it natural delivery or C-section. It was like pretty normal. It was not a big deal, or it was not. I
Mm.
feel they were not celebrated so much,
Yeah,
and
and also the
and I,
women also maybe didn't speak out much about it, how
yeah, they
difficult
didn't.
it was.
Yeah, how difficult it was, and maybe they thought that they would be shamed, that this is normal, you should be doing this, and all this kind of coming from other women only, not
Mm.
even from
Yeah,
men,
yeah,
from women only, that we have also done this, what's the big
yeah.
deal, like,
What's the big deal? Yeah,
what's
you
the
are
big
nothing
deal.
special. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mm.
I know my nani, she had 5 kids, and earlier it was like 7 8 kids was very normal, at least
Yeah,
our nani's generation.
yeah, yeah.
So my mom's generation, it was like, okay, two or three maybe. But no matter how many kids you are having, you should be, celebrated, or you should be, appreciated for your efforts. Although, nature has given you this body, and nature has
Mm.
built you up this way, but still, I feel now I mean, now husbands are more appreciative of the fact that,
Mm.
as you said, that, that the woman, she's going through all this,
Mm.
not just the delivery part, but the whole of pregnancy, because most of them are working, so they will be, they won't have leaves or anything, so they will be have their regular office work, they
Yeah.
will have their household chores, and then doing all this, and sometimes they might not also have support, right? You
Mm.
might be away from your parents, like in your case only, you
Right,
are
right.
staying
Yeah,
abroad.
yeah,
So I think that's another thing to be appreciated about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That makes me think, yeah, we should be very grateful that the
Yeah.
times have changed and they have changed, and there's this general shift in thinking
Hmm.
um, that they owe more to us,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
even now, when I'm working, right? I'm back to
Hmm.
work, and he's also back to work. and
Hmm.
we have a kid to raise. So there are
Hmm.
million other things that I take care of apart
Hmm.
from working, taking care
Hmm.
of him and planning, cleaning, everything else, right? So
Yes,
he
right.
does whatever he can to make my job easier with
Hmm.
raising the kid, right? Like
Hmm.
whenever he gets time.
Hmm.
Um, as soon as my son comes back from daycare, he consciously
Hmm.
goes and spends time with them until I make dinner.
Hmm.
I get it ready, and sometimes he also
Hmm.
we share the dinner responsibility also, because it's not just
Hmm.
for me, right? He
Hmm.
knows that he
Hmm.
knows that he has to take an active part, and he will start doing things by himself, and he'll start asking me, "Do you need any help?" and all.
Hmm.
So that in itself is a good contribution, I would say.
Hmm.
Apart from sitting with the kid, making them do some activities, going out with them, and all, it
Hmm.
helps a lot for stressed mothers
Yeah,
at home.
yeah. Hmm.
And also it's because widely in the corporate culture itself, I think there's this kind of flexibility that has started, not just for women but also for
Hmm.
men,
Hmm.
in terms of work life balance. Like they can go upfront and tell their bosses or tell their managers that, hey, I have something with my kid at school, or I have to go out, I have to step out to run some errands for my kids.
Hmm. Hmm.
So they're open in telling all those,
Yeah,
and that also has facilitated them to take active part more.
yeah,
Also
yeah.
this paternity leave, earlier I have never heard about that concept, and now not just maternity, the fathers are also getting good amount of leave, which is
Hmm.
very helpful for mothers, especially after the delivery, right? The
Hmm.
initial
Right.
few days they're getting that leave period to bond and connect with the kid.
Hmm.
um, so there's this yeah, in terms of work also there's this shift, I see,
Hmm.
which has helped in them taking all of this upon themselves.
Yeah, right. With work from home culture and that kind of
Yeah.
flexibility.
Yeah.
So, I would like to ask you one thing. So, what is, I know you love a lot of things about him, but what is one thing that you are most grateful about Sundar? You know?
Oh, I can't say one thing.
Okay, but
I mean, we have our disagreements about our parentings, but
hmm,
the fact that he respects my opinions and then later comes back and
hmm,
settles the arguments or settles the disagreement. We agree to disagree. That's okay.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I take a lot of time to settle and calm
hmm,
down with the fact that he's not agreeing with it. But
hmm,
he, in a flash, he forgets about it and he's back to normal. So I think
hmm,
that's very important to keep the to keep
hmm,
the equation alive and
yeah,
proceed. Because if both of them are like that,
yeah,
it's never going to settle down and
hmm,
talk about it, right?
right,
Yeah, that's the most thing, because other than the physical things that he
hmm,
does with the help and
hmm, hmm,
taking care of the family or the dinner or cleaning or everything, I think
hmm,
this is more important, because emotionally I need that support.
yeah, correct,
Yeah. And now not just him, I feel like men in general are more emotionally connected with the kids and the
hmm,
wives, and they're slowly trying to open up, because
yeah,
earlier I don't see anybody or the men in general opening up their feelings or
hmm.
talking about them.
Oh yeah.
But now I see a lot.
Hmm,
Even on
hmm, hmm.
social media, people share a lot of things, and it's like setting a good example for others, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
So
about you?
no, just now I remembered something. So I know Pranay is emotionally not very. How do I say? Not
No,
very expressive.
I
Okay,
know. Yeah.
you know that, and
Mm.
so I'm okay with that, and I know he's like that. But
Mm.
once we had our daughter, like obviously both son and daughter, but our daughter, she's more, she will go to her dad, and
Okay.
uh, she will connect more with him on an
Mm.
emotional level. Like my son, he also likes to spend time, but things like, what happened to you, did you get hurt, my daughter, she will ask these things, you know
Okay.
where are you going, why are you wearing this. Okay,
Mm,
for example, even I starting I used to say, but then after a certain point of time I didn't question him, what he's wearing, why is he wearing, why
mm,
he didn't shave. Okay, so our daughter, she notices all these small small things, and she will say, I remember when she couldn't even frame whole sentences, she used to, with the sign language, she would
Sense.
tell, yeah, she would tell that, your beard, it's it's hurting my cheeks, so she'll
Oh.
go and kiss him, and she will say all these things, and he would
Mm,
make sure to shave
mm,
just as soon
mm.
as she says. And then he comes back to me, and he says, now that I have a daughter, um I I can understand how hard it was for your dad to, see you off after
Oh,
our wedding. So
yeah.
those
I
small
was
things,
always thinking about all.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, this is too early. Can you please stop thinking about this? I don't want to think about it right away. But
Mm,
he's like, he gets emotional about these things, and
mm.
I'm really like, oh my God, this is a whole new side of you that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think kids also change. Um, kids bring a lot of change in them when
Yeah.
they interact with them,
Hmm.
when they engage with them. They speak a lot of things which make us, not just fathers, even as
Yeah.
mothers, make us think a
Hmm.
lot of things,
Yeah.
which bring maybe a better side of us.
Yes, yes, right.
Yeah, this emotional connect. Yeah, now it's a lot. I know, you might not know, but
Hmm,
Sundar is also not that expressive. Like if he likes something, also he just
hmm,
keeps in his heart.
hmm,
But now
hmm,
I'm also pushing him to be more open,
hmm,
because it's necessary.
hmm.
Um, but yeah, interacting with my son also, he brings a lot of change in his mindset,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in opening up.
yeah, right.
Yeah, there's this thing also. What is the one thing that you are the most grateful for, Pranay?
So now, as they are growing up, sometimes I don't have the uh, energy to, maybe do some quality reading with them, or, like coloring and all I do. Sometimes I do.
Okay.
But with him, I see, even if he's tired, once he comes back from like office or something, he'll just, spend time reading with them, which is, my son, he loves books. He loves any kind of books. He'll just, you
Hmm.
give him a book, he'll sit in the corner and spend all day. He's that sort of
Hmm.
a person. So that is something that I really appreciate, because I lose my temper very easily, especially now.
As we
People
should.
who know People who know me, they may know me as a very calm and composed person, but but after kids, I don't know from where I got this sudden
I can
rage. Okay, so I lose my calm very easily. I will scream at them, I will shout at them, but he is very polite. He will, take the situations, he will
understand.
handle the situations
Hmm.
very nicely, very maturely, very calmly, and he knows how to handle the kids. And that's like, when they were small, Pranay was not able to spend so much time because of some timing issues and other commitments. But now that they are growing up, I feel he's like, on weekends, he'll be the whole weekend, they will be hanging around him only.
Hmm.
Let's go here, let's go there, let's go for swimming, all these things. So yeah, that's something that I'm really
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah, that point I also relate, because
Hmm,
I lose my calm very quickly after becoming
hmm,
a mother, but I don't
yeah,
show that on my son. There are
hmm,
very few instances, like maybe two, three times, where
yeah,
I yelled at him or maybe
hmm,
gave him a whack. But
hmm,
on the other side, if you see, Sundar is a very strict parent in terms of boundaries.
hmm,
He insists that I also hold the firm boundaries, so that
hmm,
he knows what is allowed and what is not allowed.
Hmm.
But when I lose my cool, he's
Hmm.
the one who is always patient with my son. His anger in terms of other things is different, but
Hmm.
with the kid, he is
Hmm.
always very patient, and
Yeah.
he doesn't step out of his
Hmm.
boundaries.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
always backs the kid up, even when
Yeah.
I let him.
Yeah.
Um, and he's very patient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
with twins, it sometimes it really becomes very challenging because they both, I see them, they both would be um,
Mm,
teasing him and everything. And
mm,
even though, like, if I had been in that situation, I would have just snapped out of it. But I see him as,
mm,
calmly doing everything. And I'm like, oh my God,
yeah,
thanks to
yeah,
you, really.
yeah. We are thankful, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine with one kid itself. I feel I can imagine how with two of them, how you are managing your,
Yeah, and they would be, pulling his hair. One will be sitting on the lap, suppose, and the other, he will be, going and sitting on the shoulders, and all these things they will be doing. It's for them, it's playtime, and, they are
Mm,
like, okay, dad, the moment dad is there, chalo, we will just play and,
mm.
tease him. So, yeah,
Yeah, the patience, at least one side, is necessary. Even if
yeah,
we lose
yeah,
it, they should have it. We are thankful for it.
yeah.
But yeah, this also sets a very good example for the kids,
Hmm,
because they'll have this positive effect on them, that okay, my dad is doing this, my dad is
hmm,
spending time with me. Maybe they feel proud. Maybe in future they'll go talk about their dads a lot among
hmm,
friends, and they
yeah,
share good stories,
yes,
and that looks like a positive effect for me,
yeah, yeah, right.
because we didn't have much to boast about our hours during our time, but now I think they'll have a lot to share with their friends. About mothers, they will, for sure.
Hmm,
But
hmm,
with fathers also, I think in this generation, they'll have a lot to learn,
yeah,
because of their active engagement, involvement, sharing.
hmm,
And we also have this at home, we also have this thing that if he says something, I should not say the opposite of it to my kid,
hmm,
because he will not value them.
yeah,
So
okay.
he knows that we are a team and we stick
Hmm,
to one thing.
hmm,
So
hmm.
he can't play games that, okay, if dad is saying no, you can come to mom and all.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that's important. And sometimes I try to forego it, but
Yeah,
they insist that no, no, we should not do that.
we should not
Otherwise,
do
he will
that.
not value the
Yeah,
other parent's
yeah.
version. So things like this. This is generally in parenting, but him suggesting those things
Hmm.
uh, and actively getting involved is something is very new to me, and I'm very happy that it's happening.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else a
Hmm.
lot, but I
Hmm.
don't, I forgot. Okay, that's
Okay.
okay. But anyway, the point is, we are all very grateful. I'm thankful for the husbands that they are actively involving in parenting now. Like they're trying to do the equal parenting thing, shared responsibilities and everything, which makes our lives a little easier when
Hmm.
it gets messy, when it gets overwhelming, when it gets stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, during the trips, I'm really thankful that they spend more time with him because that I get some time for myself.
Oh.
So
Hmm.
so if he is around, they will be, both of them, they will be hanging out with him only. They won't come near me. So uh, I don't know if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. For now, I feel it's good for me. But
It is definitely.
but then I feel, I don't know, once they grow up, What if they don't have any happy memories with me? Like, this is what we did with
No,
mom, or this
no,
is
with
what.
mothers, no, definitely. You don't think like that. They'll have infinite memories with the mothers. Maybe they'll take it for granted, but they will realize at some point.
Because I know my kids, they feel that their dad is, this fun dad, and he'll play and he will do all this cool sort of things. With mom, she is like, I feel my son, he hates me because I will be saying, no,
No.
don't do this, don't do that.
Hmm. Yeah, he keeps thinking the same. If I keep saying like this, he will think that I am the villain and
Yeah, yeah. My son, he already thinks, because I can see it in his reaction.
hey, but it's important. Someone has to discipline them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They won't hate you. That's for sure.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I wanted to share was in
Hmm,
general, generally, if you see in a house, right, like if the kid is crying and the
hmm,
mother goes immediately, and then we try to calm them down and get the
hmm,
situation in control.
hmm,
But but there are situations, and the mother will say the father that okay, I'll take care.
hmm,
You leave, you'll stay out of it, and the
hmm,
fathers will be okay with that, right? But
hmm,
in my household, it's not the case, and sometimes
hmm,
it angers me.
hmm,
But it is very important that he is also taking the situation into hands. He doesn't
hmm.
want to be that left out parent where the mother
Okay.
always goes and attends to the
Hmm,
situation. He
hmm,
says that okay, even if he cries, even if he takes a couple of minutes more,
hmm,
I want to be the one to handle
hmm,
situation, because I also want him to know that I am also as involved as you. I'm
hmm,
also the equal parent like you.
hmm,
So there are times that which angers me when that happens, because I can't take the crying. But it is important, and it feels good that okay, he doesn't want to leave me as the default parent.
hmm.
I'm thankful for that as well.
Yeah, yeah. This reminded me of an ex-colleague. I remember when he had a son, he used to, during lunchtime, before lunch, he would, leave for his home. His home was near to office only. He would go back home and, give a bath to his son, uh, while his wife, she will have lunch, so that, while he is holding the baby
Mm,
and everything, so she could have her lunch.
mm,
And this guy, he would, then come back office and then again start working. And I remember him mentioning me that, I don't want to be just a passive father.
mm,
I want to be an active parent.
mm,
Because I think he also, mentioned about his dad, that just for name's sake, I don't want to be a dad. I want to be you know, an active dad. So that really makes me wonder, like, what they
mm.
can do, really.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the most unexpected things, right? I for a fact I didn't think that he would be such a great father,
Hmm.
but as soon as the baby came out, he was like fully in that super dad mode,
Yeah,
able to handle everything by himself. I always had this fear of handling a baby, how I'll raise all
yeah.
these fears and anxiety, but
Hmm.
he never had anything.
Hmm.
But that makes me also think whether the dads uh, should also have a mental health support um,
You
during
think?
during our
Hmm.
postpartum. It's not just for us, right? They
Hmm.
also would go through a lot seeing us,
Hmm.
and they will put a strong face.
Hmm.
They come out strong, but
Hmm.
are they really that strong internally also? That makes me wonder. I keep asking him, but he never um, shares genuinely, I feel.
Hmm.
But I feel like the father should be more open about telling how they feel also, especially during the wife's postpartum period. I know they are strong. They give a very strong support to the wives coming out of the anxiety or fears or whatever. But I also feel that they also go through a lot,
Hmm.
and they also need like that emotional or mental support,
Hmm.
in letting out their feelings. I've never
Oh,
seen anybody or any men talking about it in my friends group. They
Mm.
joke about it, but is there something more to the jokes? Is what
Okay.
I wonder. What do you
Joke
feel?
about it as in, like, give me
As
an
in, okay, at
instance.
this time she was. They talk about us, but
Okay.
they don't talk about themselves, like how they felt or how it was challenging for them. I'm sure it was very challenging for them also.
Huh.
Um, what do you feel?
This is very interesting. I never thought about it. Like,
See, yeah, we never think
obviously.
about it because we always
Yeah.
think about, okay, the mother is going through a lot and the baby and
Huh.
everything, but the fathers, I think, they also go through a lot because apart from that work or the leave, they have to manage the house, they have to take care of the wife, how she's feeling, they have to take care
Yes.
of the baby,
Yeah.
and everything. And there's not enough talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
In in my case, I remember the initial 6 months
Mm.
after the kids were born. Pranay couldn't be around so much, so he might not have been, able to see what I was going through. And this, in my case, I feel postpartum, I think, hit me very late, not initially.
Okay.
Initial 1 year, I was in a blissful state.
Mm.
Like, although the work was too much,
Mm.
as you can imagine, but still I was very happy. But after they completed an year or so, I think something just shifted inside me, and I never shared with him, or we never spoke about it. I don't know if I have shared it with you also or not, but something has changed. But from his end also, I don't know if something changed or not,
Mm.
if he was also going through something or not, if he
Good
was
to
also
ask.
feeling. Yeah, I think I'll ask him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time and now I keep asking him. He
Yeah.
he shares a few things, but there's more to it, and they don't
Yeah.
open up completely, is what I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, they're handling all these new dads, the current generation dads. They are taking things in hand, and they're doing a great job at what they're doing. And we're very thankful for whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
And this
Exactly.
episode is like a small tribute from us to all of
To
them.
them. Yes.
Yeah.
So we will end it here.
Yes. Yes. So do share your experiences. This was very interesting and a very happy topic for us to, appreciate for the things that our husbands do, the men in general do. So if you relate to this or if you have something else to share, do share with us. We'll be
Yeah.
waiting to see them.
Yeah.
And we'll
Okay.
see you in the next week's episode. Until then, you take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.